In 1996, I travelled to Bougainville to document an ugly civil war that had erupted on the island between the Bougainville Republican Army and the PNG Defence Forces. At the centre of the dispute was the Panguna copper mine in central Bougainville, owned by Australian mining giant Rio Tinto. Due to the dangers of the conflict, Rio walked away in 1989 and have not returned. 36 years later, the shadows cast by that conflict continue to darken the politics and life on the island. The mine has left a polluted and ugly legacy and needs urgent remediation. The Michael Gordon Fellowship allowed me to return to Bougainville and find some of those resilient BRA fighters who had looked after me all those years ago. Romy Joel, a dreadlocked platoon leader, had been one of the very few fighters who were brave enough to leave the relative safety of the jungle and come to meet us. He stayed with us the whole time and even rode back up the coastal highway, melting back into the jungle just before the PNG Defence Force front lines. I found a committed and resilient insurgency fighting for their independence. They had modified truck alternators to produce hydroelectricity from the rivers and ran the former mine vehicles on coconut oil. The jungle was their cover and their home. They were fearless and committed, and I felt they were going to be very difficult to defeat. The photographs I took earned a Walkley nomination. From the day I left, I have wanted to return to find out what happened to the fighters I had met. Winning the Michael Gordon Fellowship allowed me to fulfil that long-held wish. I worked with Michael at the Age and later on some of his book projects. I felt very close to him. I feel that the story of the island and its inhabitants 30 years on is just the sort of story Michael would have loved. Shining a light on people doing it tough was what Michael was all about. Romy drove across tortuous roads from southern Bougainville to meet us in the central island town of Arawa. He introduced us to his granddaughter Lola, and this closed the circle for me and made sense of their struggles and sacrifice in the jungle all those years ago. This assignment is very simply one of the best I have undertaken in my career. The fact that I got to work with one of the best journalists in the business, Ben Doherty, and all in Michael's name put the gloss on this assignment for me. I want to thank the Fellowship Selection Panel for their faith in both Ben and I and encourage you to apply for the 2026 Fellowships. It was a career highlight for me.